Hi everybody and welcome to Des and Lauren. Today we're covering a story from aboard. Aboard?
Yes, on board.
On board.
Abroad.
On board abroad.
Yes.
Correct.
Yes. Poland, to be exact.
Yes, Poland. But before we get started, let us know how you're celebrating this public holiday. Put in the comments what you're doing on, at least in some parts of the country, cold and rainy day at home.
Yes, and tell us if you've been flooded, your business, your home, etc. In Cape Town. There's flooding everywhere. We're high up on a hill, and I'm really appreciative of that at the moment.
Warsaw standoff. Security planes still stranded as Poland refuses South Africa.
Yeah, this is absolutely fascinating what is happening. Cyril's going along. He's in Kiev at the moment. He's arrived there via a train because planes don't seem to be that safe at the moment. So, what happened to this plane?
What's a disaster? They're stuck. I'll read a little bit and then we can discuss it. The South African charter aircraft that has effectively been impounded by Polish authorities here since Thursday remains stuck on the tarmac, with passengers on the crew now eking out a strange living among the dimly lit aisles and galleys of the plane.
Doomy and gloomy story. There's actually News 24
journalists stuck
on the plane.
I cannot imagine.
We
what
know
that's
that
like.
because they had a scallop smoke on Polish soil. The smokers get away with murder, don't they?
On Thursday, Polish authorities refused to allow South African security personnel transported here to provide President Cyril Ramaphosa's safety during his visit to Ukraine and Russia to disembark, throwing the police and SA National Defence Forces operational plans into disarray.
Well, they actually arrived 11 o'clock on Wednesday evening. So imagine, since 11 o'clock on Wednesday evening, you've been on this flight, you haven't showered or washed or anything.
All you want is your hotel room.
Yes, it's all you want. And they're not allowed to disembark. And the Polish people are giving them the runaround.
It gets worse.
Yeah.
It's not just about being stuck on an airplane, it gets far worse. So the president's scheduled to meet with Zelensky on Friday, which was...
Vladimir Zelensky, the president of Ukraine. That's today. So that's what he's busy with at the moment. If you go to Twitter, it'll be awash with videos, etc., of him getting the Ukrainian propaganda, and then soon you'll get the Russian propaganda. So you'll get the propaganda from both sides.
Ramaphosa landed at around the same time as the security team's SAA charter and made a courtesy visit to the Polish president on Thursday afternoon before departing on his official plane for the south of Poland.
So he basically abandoned his security crew. So he has his immediate security detail, but in the videos you can't really see them present, can you? So an entire plane filled with top-end security personnel that's supposed to make sure that his path going ahead is secure. They are
I feel like the
stuck on a plane.
I feel like the international community is really trying to provoke South Africa to take a side.
If you actually imagine this happening to America, Russia or China or any of the European, the G7 nations, there would be hell to pay.
Be outcry.
They absolutely don't give a hooting anything about South Africa. This is Poland laughing in our face. And Cyril is still entertaining these people while they are doing this.
He's probably trying to be responsible and trying not to be provoked because that's obviously the reaction they want.
Yeah, interesting situation.
I'd be so mad.
What would you do if you were president?
I don't
what
think
would
it's
you do in this
YouTube
situation?
safe to say.
Is it?
No.
Okay. Okay, it's fine.
Polish authorities did not allow the group comprising specialist security personnel, including senior security staff and leadership, to disembark while South African officials scrambled to make alternative arrangements. It's understood that the president is traveling with his close security detail amid the standoff at Chopin International Airport.
I think that's a composer.
Yeah, so that's so cool to have an airport named after a composer.
It's about the only culture they have left.
Yeah, I guess. On Thursday night, General Wally Roeder, head of the Presidential Protection Service, angrily accused Polish authorities of sabotage and racism. And it actually gets worse. There was an incident where, as a leader of a nation, one should take action. But anyway, we'll get to that part soon.
So Wally Roeder, he held an impromptu press conference where he really went off at the Polish officials.
Not that
and
that
how
helps.
they were treating them. No, of course not. because they would often refuse to speak in English to the South African crew.
How convenient.
Yeah.
A black female member of the Presidential Protection Service stationed in Poland was even strip searched before she was allowed onto the plane, causing deep anger and resentment among top brass on the plane. This is how they are trying to provoke South Africa into some kind of action, into some kind of side taking. And I must actually commend the president for just keeping cool, keeping just a cool head on your shoulders, when I think most people would throw a massive, enormous fit. I know I would. A livid Rutte repeated that it confirmed the Poles' racist handling of the South African plane and passengers. Aboard the stuffy SAA A340-300 plane, conditions are starting to resemble a refugee camp. And I can just imagine.
Yeah, that's not pleasant.
I absolutely hate airplanes, hate flying. And to be stuck on it's like being stuck on a bus. If it's not in the air, it's practically a bus.
They've been there now for about a day and a half.
Yeah, and all they ate was Burger King, as we'll see later in the article. Not even some legitimate Polish meals, but Burger King.
When they ran out of salty cracks. And it's not the Polish providing them with this, it's the South African embassy in Poland.
Unwashed security personnel, SAA staff and journalists have been forced to shape a grim existence on the plane, walking up and down the aisles and using different toilets for distraction. Different scenery.
Yeah, different scenery.
The South African embassy provided Burger King meals for passengers on Thursday night after the crew ran out of salty crackers in the afternoon. News 24 however managed to set foot on Polish soil when we joined unidentified passengers and a Polish ground crew member for a crafty cigarette behind the terminal building in the early hours of the morning. Yeah.
Smokers get away with anything. Everyone understands the guy's got to smoke. He's got to get on the ground.
That's something that's understood internationally.
Yes. Like in wartime, the enemies will sit together and have a smoke. And then they'll start shooting at each other again.
There's been no official communication from the Polish authorities. There's also no indication of when or if the plane will leave. This is a developing story. So what would you do?
So I would go absolutely build missiles, build nukes, build everything you need to just, not be treated that way.
But that's the state of our country. We have not developed anything.
No, we are being laughed at. We are the laughing stock of the world. And this is why this video is so relevant, especially to Omega. What we are trying to do and achieve is create a citizenry that other people in the world will respect. And you'll still be able to trade with other countries. You'll still be able to talk with them, negotiate with them.
You can have international relations.
Absolutely.
We don't have international relations.
No, these people are doing to us whatever they want.
South Africa's been
used. At the moment, we're being using as a political football to try and influence what's happening with Ukraine and Russia. And I don't have a position on that. I'm not going to get involved in anything like that. We have enough problems back here in South Africa to focus on. But it's important that the Polish officials is treating the presidential detail like this. I mean, that says a lot. If I was president, I would have stopped my trip right there and come straight back home and made every attempt for the people to actually get that plane off the ground. And it would be a serious standoff, because this is a serious thing. You believe that Cyril's method is the best at this stage. I see it as a weakness. But that's just me. I'm a man, you're a woman, so we deal with things differently.
Well, with a lot of the news articles I've read around South Africa and what's happening abroad, it does, for me, it seems like the international community, specifically some, wants a reaction, want South Africa to take a side when we've tried to remain as neutral as possible, and we cannot give them what they want.
Well, he doesn't have to throw a tantrum. He can just return to South Africa. Yeah. And that's what I would have certainly done if I was in his position. It's almost as if he's now giving future countries permission to do to us whatever they want. Because he will just carry on as if nothing's happened.
But this is a problem. South Africa, and just like us during some issues over the last few years, the people of South Africa had no negotiating power because of how dependent we are on the state and on massive
And the state is
corporations.
dependent on other countries.
Exactly.
That is the problem.
But in the same way, yes, South Africa itself, because we haven't built military might, we haven't built a national identity. Because of that, we haven't built a strong citizenry. Because of all of that, we have no negotiating power. So we just toss to and fro.
Sitting ducks. But thanks for watching this video. Give us your thoughts. What would you do if you were President Cyril Ramaphosa under the current conditions? And what actions would you take? What do you expect your president to do, irrespective of what you think about Cyril Ramaphosa? What would you expect the South African president to do? Imagine some future scenario. And tell us in the comments.
I think just ultimately we need a president that actually has the authority to lead, not a president that's a puppet.
Yes.
And that's all we've had for the past 20-something years.
So hopefully that will change in future. Foreign entities wanted South Africa weak. They've got a weak South Africa, and this is the result. Thanks so much for watching this video. The link to the articles will be in the description and first comment below this video. Please consider joining us as channel members, and then you can watch the more than 200 videos that will be put out for channel members. And you can join our Thursday evening live chats. We did a very interesting one on the Rothschild dynasty just yesterday. So go join, sign up, watch that video, and become a part of this community where we are trying to change this exact situation. I mean, that's what it's about, isn't it?
It is. It's just improving people's ability to control their own future.
Very simple. Thanks. Till the next video.